Susan Pevensie is often seen as cautious, and maybe even fearful. But in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that's only part of the story. Because when you look deeper, you don't just see fear. You see gentleness, compassion, and attention that shapes everything she does. Of the 4 Pevensie siblings, we see 4 personalities unique to each of them. Susan may not be as bold or adventurous as her siblings, but her character stands out. To see how she stands out, we need to look at 4 characteristics, and together, these characteristics reveal the kind of person Susan really is. Susan's later title of Queen Susan the Gentle shows that gentleness is an important, if not the most important characteristic for her. It is an important virtue as we learn from Paul in Philippians 4 verse 5, which says, "Let your gentleness be known to all men." To have the title of gentle, Susan must have let her gentleness be known to everyone. And in 1 Timothy 6 up verse 11, Paul writes, "But you, O man of God, flee from these things, and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, gentleness." The way that Susan lives shows that she was pursuing gentleness. And we see that through her tone, demeanor, and her interactions with others. Her gentleness isn't a weakness. It's her greatest strength. It shapes how she speaks, how she responds, and even how she treats the people around her. Susan is known for being beautiful, but her beauty's not the point. What matters is what it leads to. She is held captive by her desire to be mature and attractive. She even uses paternal phrases and sayings that a traditional 12-year-old would not be saying at the time. She cares about how she'll be perceived. While Narnia invites a childlike wonder, Susan keeps leaning towards adulthood. This doesn't mean that she's shallow. This means that she's aware of how she's seen and aware of how she presents herself. And it's that awareness that starts to pull her away from the childlike trust that Narnia offers. When she first got to Narnia, she was practical and sensible, and at first, this looks like wisdom. She suggests that they wear coats from the wardrobe to stay warm, and she also has the instinct to worry about them having food. But over time, this practicality starts to hold her back. She thought that they should help Mr. Tumnus, but she also didn't want to get involved. And she soon wished that they never came to Narnia. She didn't find it safe or fun. Eventually, this limits her ability to step forward. When she first hears about Aslan, she's concerned if it's even safe to know him, even though she gets a very strong feeling of awe when she hears his name. And when they first meet Aslan, she pushes Peter to go first. Instead of stepping forward, she hesitates. Despite the fear she's facing, she's still able to show up for the ones she loves. Lucy and Susan notice that Aslan's leaving camp and he's heading towards the stone table. They decide to keep him company as he's going on this sad and depressing walk. At the time, she didn't know what was going to happen, but she stayed anyway. She also had the emotional awareness to consider Edmund's feelings. Lucy wanted to tell Edmund what Aslan did for him on the stone table, but Susan disagreed, thought it would be an awful thing for him to know. She might have thought that Edmund would blame himself for what happened to Aslan. We see that even though she was struggling with fear, she still had the compassion and the empathy to show up for her loved ones. Susan's desire for maturity shapes how she sees the world. It makes it harder for her to embrace wonder and easier for her to focus on control. Her caution develops from that mindset. Sometimes it looks like wisdom and sometimes like fear. But yet her gentleness remains. It's revealed in her compassion and how she treats others, and even in the way she chooses to stay close instead of pulling away. Susan is a character pulled between childlike wonder and controlled, careful adulthood. Susan may not be the most bold or adventurous in Narnia, but her character reveals something very real for a lot of us. The tension between trust and control, and caution and wonder, and that's what makes her not just understandable, but deeply relatable.